everyone, welcome to Bisila Gotra Manuela channel. Today video will be about colors and harnesses and leash training. So let's start with the harness first. There are a lot of bad contraptions sold in the puppy stores, animal stores, which are covering bones that are moving. So I'm gonna show you harness. This is front and this is the back with the folder on. So when the dog puts it on, the shoulder blade here is open and the dog able to move the leg back and forth without restriction. This is the form of harness the sled dogs wear when they pull in the sled. This is anatomically correct harness, and no other harnesses dogs should wear. So if you choose to use harness for your dog, please choose the correct one that will not impede your dog's movement and allow the puppy grow correctly without any restrictions. There is no research regarding that. I am telling you just from observation. Let's say you cover your shoulders or wrap your shoulders around something and move your hands at the same time. The same applies to your dog. When you go to the store, please put it on and see if the straps go over any moving bones. Like shoulder blades should be completely free of any straps. And to me, harness has specific purpose as for pulling. If your dog is sled dog and pulling is something your dog should do, of course harness is a yes. Also, if you go on the boat and you have to pull your dog out of the water, this kind of harness with the handle on is of course appropriate. Or if you go climb steep mountains and you have to pull your dog on the cliff, also harness with the handle on top is quite appropriate, but not for walking when your dog pulling. Pulling is something that shouldn't be, because a dog should be trained to walk on leash without pulling. I hooked him to the front attachment now, as the front attachment usually designed for dogs that pull to prevent them to pull. Well, this way the dog will be jerked backwards towards you, and if you put such harness on the puppy and puppy pulls hard and jerked back all the time, the puppy might have some micro injuries, and it's not good for your puppy. I would highly recommend you teach your puppy to walk on leash properly without pulling, as this is for the rest of the dog's life, and it is important for the dog to learn to walk on leash without pulling. Also for your own safety, especially if you have big breed dog and the dog pulls all the time, you will have injury to your hand. Pulling in the harness is very safe for your dog, but it's absolutely not safe or enjoyable for you. I would also not keep harness or collar when the dog is at home, as Lagota have a longer coat and long coat might felt underneath the harness or collar for that matter, and I would not have any equipment on the dog at home. Also, when the dog walk in harness in the woods, it can catch up on some twigs, because my dogs are off leash all the time, so the more straps on the dog, the higher chance the dog gonna get caught on some hook in the woods and will be trapped. So this dog wearing similar harness as the previous one, just different design, no handle, but the same. Simple color, waterproof color works great as long as the dog trained to walk on leash with the color. That is my preference. So now you will see the example of a dog that perfectly well trained to walk on leash. She is healing. This isn't something that everybody needs to teach their dog. A loose leash walking would be the most appropriate for everyday use, but unfortunately I cannot show you a loose leash walk in the yard when I have treats in my pocket, because my dogs know it's a training time, it's healing time, and dogs will only heal for me in such circumstances. So healing is a hard work. The dog pay attention to me all the time. Her head is turned towards me, and she is responsive to any movements of mine. That is what you see here. Training your puppy to walk on leash is one of the most essential skills your dog will have, and it will help you and dog to have a pleasant walk for the rest of the dog's life and yours. It is incredibly unpleasant to walk with the dog that pulls all the time. So you need to put an effort to train your dog right from the beginning. As soon as you get your puppy, start training. I start to train puppies that I raise at 6 weeks. I would put collars on for the puppies to get used to it, and then I will start introducing them to the leash at 7 weeks of age, and by 8 weeks they would walk perfectly on leash for their owners. Leash training is fun. It should be limited to short periods of time only. And for puppies, you need to walk off leash more often than on leash. The more freedom puppy has, the better the puppy will walk on leash for you. So to train my dogs, I have to remove them from the yard, as I cannot train all of them at the same time. And that is what you see here. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to walk with all of them at once so you can see what kind of nonsense it is. And also it is fun for them to be participating in some activities all together. They like the group lessons, and I think it's fun for you to see how the dogs interact with each other. And I am no circus trainer to train all of them at once. I am not that good. Close up collar. So this is chalk collar. It comes like this. It will choke the dog. So what you do is just thread it like that, and you have a collar. So this color should be used only when you train your dog, and you should always pay attention to your dog when you train your dog. The way this color put on, the sliding part with the ring on should be on top always. And the dog, this color, this chalk color, should be not on the dog neck, but under the chin. So yeah, and of course we're not pulling too hard. This dog hasn't been on this chalk color for very often, so we only use it for training purposes. Yeah. The first step to successful dog training is time. Timing is everything. If your dog is hungry, if your dog is sick, if your dog doesn't like treats, if your dog hasn't been for a walk and has a lot of energy, it is not a good time to go. If your dog had just big breakfast and doesn't care about the treats, also not a good timing. So timing is everything. Also, the training sessions should be short and they should be fun. The dog should enjoy herself and you should end the training session before your dog got bored. So unfortunately, none of my dogs would pull for me to show you. That is why maybe I will take another dog and see if someone will pull. Thank you, that was a good one. Okay, who is... Guy, come here. Guy, come here. Okay, let's get you out of here. You too much. Dum-dum. Yes, you. So if you have a pulling dog, what you do is don't let the dog go forward. What I mean is you maybe try to keep the leash behind you and put your arm like that. So if your dog moving forward, just turn around and start again and put your hand like that. So every time you get, your dog gets ahead of you, you turn around. And sometimes you're gonna work in circles, but it's worth it. You can spend time walking in circles until your dog understands that walking forward is, guy is excited. But you can do it with any dog, with big or small. Because the closer the dog to you, the easier it is to control the dog, not to go forward. If your dog is far away and you're pulling your dog back, the longer the leash, the harder it is to get the dog. So, unfortunately, all my dogs are trained and they will not pull, doesn't matter what I do. So walking, heeling and walking on loose leash is two different things. Heeling is hard work. So the dog is paying attention to me all the time. She walks and her head is on me. That's heeling. Always. Loose leash, when the dog walks on loose leash, she can go up and back and side to side and sniff stuff. That's loose leash. It's not hard work. It's how dogs should walk. But because I have treats, there's no way she's gonna be loose leashing. Perhaps we'll take video later on when we go on the trail, and I will take some videos with dog walking on the loose leash. But right now, because I have treats, they will heal, all of them. So this is chalk color, but with the restriction. You see, it has a, like, it's loose. When you put it on the dog, it's pretty loose. And again, you should put the sliding part on the top. And it's very loose on the dog. But when you pull, it goes to the size of the dog's neck and she can't get out. So this chalk color is very safe. Can be used on anyone. And of course its material must be washed, but I love it because it's not tight on the dog neck if you like to keep color at home on the dog, and it's safe for the outside if your dog, you know, see the rabbit and wants to chase it. So I love this color, perfect for training purposes. Although for Lagota, I do not recommend to keep the collar or harness for that matter at home, because right now she's all shaved, but dogs have a longer coat and it will just, the coat doesn't look good all squished under the collar or harness. All right. We're gonna walk in circles like that because I have too many dogs and they all want treats. But the treats only gonna get dog on the leash. So the other ones are just out of luck. So, everybody's excited? Chicha. Bella is wearing martingale color. It also chokes and also to the size of the neck like this, and loose on the neck like that when not pulled. Called martingale. Also good, easy to put on, super safe to walk the dog, and pretty loose on the neck. Great for training. So see how well she's, hopping. We have to remove the other dogs. Come on, let's go out. So this is the leather color. It's training color. It's soft. The closer you are to the dog, the easier it is to control the dog. So if the dog charges forward, you hold it like that, up to the neck and like that. And maybe like that. So, yeah. I'm going to try to get her all excited and try to charge and go after imaginable rabbit, but the years of training doesn't allow her to actually charge while I'm holding her onto the collar, because she knows she can't get out from it. And but still you can see how easy it is to hold the dog. Doggos are pretty strong and we are at the same weight category with her, and if she wanted to she can pull pretty hard, but she's holding herself back because she's trained not to. But if the dog charges, it is easy to keep her contained.
Look! Look! What's it? Okay. So she doesn't want to charge. But if she does, this way you can prevent her to go. Um, Even if she jumps, you're gonna end up with your hand like that under the chin and support with the top arm, just like that. Lara, come. Lara, go! Good job. Good job.
Training dogs is not a hard work, it is mostly game. Dogs love to learn, and the happier you are, the happier your dogs will be and more willing to do what you want them to do. So now we're coming to an end with the leash walking. So I will play with all of them, and by playing I will be running around in a circle, throwing treats for them to catch. And so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna tell them to stay behind me. Only one dog goes ahead of me, which is Chia, but the rest of them, they stay behind me as I tell them to. And this is just another exercises for them to follow me but not ahead of me. I like to practice this way. When I used to live in a city, I would play like that. So they stay behind me when we are approaching the road, and then they can go forward and go ahead of me to walk. I used to go on the trails where I can let my dogs off the leash for the most part. I rarely walked on leash around the neighborhood. That's why I had to teach my dogs to come when I call them, and to walk properly on leash, because I had multiple dogs. I couldn't physically hold all of them if they decided to pull me. So we're gonna go to the woods now, and I will show you how dogs walk on loose leash, just like that, sniffing around and not pulling me ahead. My dogs didn't understand what we're doing and why they are on the leash. They were sort of thinking, are we training because I didn't have treats with me, or why are we going in the other direction now, like what is happening? You can see confused look on Mango face. but he still walked with me even though I didn't treat him or anything, and sort of wondering why we're here and why he's on the leash. Thank you very much for choosing to watch this video. I hope you liked it and you will put an effort to train your dog to walk on leash so that your walks with your dogs are pleasant, and of course find a way to have your dog free running and exploring the nature. That is the main key for successful leash training, is to allow your dog the freedom to run around and sniff around and play and be free. Leash is for short times. Yes, it's essential, but the freedom is more essential. Goodbye now. Thank you.